Hi again, Doug here from X-Frames FPV, and today, well, I'm on the other side of the camera. And why, you ask? Well, I've been critiquing my own videos, and in critiquing my own videos, I have noticed that it can be really boring watching 8 to 12 minutes of a green tabletop. No matter how, interesting the content is, just sitting there and watching one static shot gets really boring. So I've purchased Premiere Pro and been trying to add some roll, like some B-roll of different footage. But this is another way, number one, to connect with you guys, because I really want this to feel like a family, like, we're all part of this industry and we enjoy it. So I hope, you guys will enjoy this. Leave some comments in the comment section as far as if you like it, and, make them nice. Don't, if you guys leave positive comments, it's so rewarding to me and to everybody listening. Maybe 0.1% of the time somebody leaves a negative comment, and I just ignore it because there's no reason for me to respond to it. I'm totally open to critiques. If I've messed something up, or if you have a differing opinion, that's wonderful. But come at it from an area of, I guess the word is to use humbleness, so that we can all feel like it's a conversation rather than somebody just trying to, put their opinion out there without any kind of care to what anybody else is going to think. So that's my 2 cents. But, sorry for the lighting. I know the lighting's not great. I'm going to work on that. I know the camera's in shot, but this is kind of it's got a large diaphragm in it, and so it's made more for vocals, so it really kind of needs to be close, or it's going to pick up absolutely everything in the room. So we're going to work on that as well. Sorry, I keep on looking over there to the screen because I'm just not used to looking into a lens. Okay, so but I want to keep on doing this. So what are we talking about today? Well, we're talking about the Neato Talon X. And let's just we'll get a better look at it once we get into the tabletop. But one of the things I really do like about it is these rounded motor mounts. But, I talk a lot about Talons, or about Neato, and that's because I love their product. I've never been sent anything free from Neato. I get a lot of free products. I do my best to review them unbiasedly, but, I've never gotten anything free from Neato, and I really like the design. I like the build quality of the components, and I love how it looks in the end. They just come out looking so beautiful. And so I enjoy that as a builder, that the product, that when I'm done with it, the product looking so nice is just a plus to me. So, and they're very durable, so that's why I like them. So this is the Talon. Love this frame. It's a really kind of understated, just kind of clean lines, and it went together really well. So we'll get to the tabletop in a minute. I know the backdrop or the background is not very interesting. You see part of my desk. You see the garage door, because I work out of my garage here in the house. Again, looking at the screen, sorry. And I tried opening the door because it's really beautiful out today, but I couldn't. If I got my face light enough, the outside was so washed out. So we'll work on that and get more light on my face so that we could do that. So, another thing I wanted to hit on before we get to the flight footage really quickly here is, before we get to the tabletop actually, is flight footage. And I've talked a lot about wanting to do flight footage and about hoping to do flight footage on this video or that video, and it just lately has not happened. And the reason is we have had a lot of rain here in Southern California, which is great. We need it, and I'm so thankful for it. But it has made it to where when it does dry out enough, because it's literally 2 or 3 days of rain and 2 or 3 days of sun is kind of how it's been. And then it takes a day to dry out. So I usually literally maybe 1 day a week have time to get out there and fly. Well, when that happens, I have quads backed up that I need to tune and that my customers are waiting for. So I don't have time to take time to video it. All I'm doing is concentrating on getting these tuned and getting them to my customers to make them happy customers. So as we get into better weather, it's a really nice week coming up here. As we get into better weather, we'll go out and I'll have Ray fly so that I can get some footage, and we'll get some goggle and some HD footage, and really kind of make it more interesting, because I know that's a plus. So I think when I watch videos, I don't necessarily like watching a complete flight video that's nothing but flying. Sometimes I do, but I like it when when a lot of guys do tabletops and then go out and fly. That's interesting to me. So that's what I'm pushing for. And that's, hopefully going to be coming up here pretty soon as weather gets better. So let's go to the tabletop. All right, there it is. This is the Neato X Talon. And this is a 4-inch frame, 4mm bottom plate, 2mm top plate. And, it's just a really gorgeous frame. Like I said, we went understated, and we did that on purpose because we really wanted it to be something that was, sorry about that, just the design and the lines of the frame just kind of come out, and I really like that. So let's get into some of the components. For the motors, we ran these Hyperlite V2s, 2205 motors. Really nice and light, super smooth. One of my favorite motors in the 2205 range. For camera, we ran with a Foxier Arrow, which gives him OSD. Now for VTX, we ran with the Tramp from Immersion. That's Tramp from Immersion. And we did not run a PDB, and the reason we didn't have to is because we ran the Lumenier Lux flight controller, which takes straight LiPo power, and so there's no need for any kind of voltage regulator going to the flight controller, and the Tramp takes straight LiPo power, and no problem with going to the Tramp with straight LiPo power. So no need for a PDB, and so it really makes for a nice and light build. We've got the Lumenier 4-in-1 ESC in here, and that's a really good ESC. You can choose to buy it with either. They have one version that has built-in voltage regulators, and one opto, which is this one that doesn't have any voltage regulators, and we don't need it. So really nice and clean build. Makes it nice and light. Now my scale something's wrong with my scale. It got tweaked somehow, and so it's not reading the right weight. But the frame is a fairly light frame, and without the PDB and running these nice light motors, this is a really light build. Flies absolutely wonderful. Really smooth flyer. Didn't have to spend a ton of time tuning it because it just kind of was fairly well tuned out of the box. Anytime you go to a 4-inch, you've got to drop stuff back a little bit because for the most part, the default tune is, I would think it was probably set up for a 5-inch. But man, I had fun time tuning this, fun time building it, and I think overall it came out really well. This is how I choose to run antennas. Some people have commented, well, what about crashes with this? Well, I don't worry about, or not crashes, but losing connection, because it's great when you're flying this way, right? You've got total direct connection, direct line to your radio. But when you're turning and coming towards you, you lose that. I've never had that be an issue. And, yes, as far as in a perfect world, that's what you would want, is you'd want always to have that direct connection. But the same thing, I think, to this applies kind of to what we've seen with the antennas that we use for our VTXs. Now, this is running a TBS antenna on there right now, but I've been using primarily lately the linear antennas now for ever since the beginning of this hobby. Everything's been circular polarized. You have to have left hand polarized and right hand polarized. And yes, again, in a perfect world, that's the way it should be. But what we found is these linear antennas work absolutely wonderfully. So I think the same kind of applies to the antennas here for the receiver. I've never had a problem. I generally 99% of the time run an FR Sky X4R, and so that's a really good receiver. So hope you guys got something out of this. I appreciate you. Check out Neato's website at neatoframes.com. Check out my website, xframesfpv.com, and you can get an idea of the builds that I do. I need to update it with some more recent builds, but it'll give you an idea of pricing. You can always contact me. Contact information is in the description, and we can kind of go over what you want for a build. If you already got parts you want me to build it, I can do that as well. So again, guys, I appreciate you a ton. Hope you get some time to fly.